Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Oh my gosh, this is the first video on this channel and I am so excited to be here. For today, I'm going to be reviewing the Norvina Volume 2 palette and doing this look with it in a tutorial. So if you have any questions, please sound off in the comments below, like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts. I'm here for the criticism, so please let me know what you think, and I look forward to running this look with you. Okay, so now that my eyes are primed, I'm looking pretty matte at this point, not seeing creasing. We are good to get started. Every time before I do start putting on shadows, I do curl my lashes. The one that I have is actually just the e.l.f. lash curler. I think it's the Pro lash curler. I like it because it has the more springy holder to it. So I just received this in the mail today. Anastasia Beverly Hills was doing an amazing sale. It was like buy one, get one half off of everything on the website. And of course, sitting here in quarantine, I'm like, I need to get something. So I ended up getting the Norvina palette Volume 2 and Norvina palette Volume 3. So I'm actually going to be doing my look today using the Norvina Volume 2. I'm obsessed. I got this originally because of the greens that I noticed in the palette. I've not been seeing a lot of greens out in the market, so I wanted to make sure. Honestly, this is such a beautiful palette. I love it. And you get 25 shades. Like, that gives you so many opportunities to make looks. So this is the palette. There's me. I honestly think that this is amazing. I just am a huge fan of these like greens, and honestly, the metallic shades are like beyond belief. So for today, we're going to just do a standard green cut crease. But yeah, so I'm gonna do a green look to kind of match my shirt a little bit, deepen it up. I've been seeing a lot of green trends going on and I'm obsessed. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So first thing I'm going to start out with is going to be my Morphe 124 brush. And it is a more flat bristled brush. I do enjoy packing this on for my first shade because it does help you with the pointed end to be able to set the location for your first blend. And for this, I'm going to go in with my first shade, which is going to be E3. Wow. This is really pigmented. Obsessed. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in around the corners. Girl. And pack that baby on. All right. So now after that, I'm going to go in with my first blending brush, which I am obsessed with that Morphe M431 brush as a blender, just because it does have such a pointed end to it. It's not dirty. I think it's just a little stained, so we'll run with it. Then from there, you're just going to buff out your edges. Just ever so slightly. So as you can see, it's a little bit more blended around the edges for you to be able to go in with your second shade to do your number 2 blend. And then from there, I'm gonna go in with a clean 124, Morphe 124 brush, same one as before where we're packing on that pigment. So next, after I've got that set, I'm gonna go in with my second blend. This is going to be my middle color that I'm going to use a little bit deeper, not too light. And we will be using this to kind of blend out the edges on this. I'm going to use a clean 124 Morphe. I like this, like I said, just because it's got the pointed edge. You can really pack that pigment on, and yeah, it works the charm. You're just going to put the pigment on, and then you will be buffing out with another brush. So I'm going to use shade B3 on this gal, which is right here. I'm just gonna dip in a little bit Ooh. Pigment. And we're just gonna add that 50% on its own and 50% on the previous shade. This is actually giving me like Wizard of Oz, like Emerald City vibes, and I'm kind of here for it. Okay, so this looks pretty good. Just buff out the edges that you're noticing aren't quite where you want them to be. And there you have it. So there's my second shade blended out. Keep in mind also that we are going to go in a second time. So as you can see, we've got the darker shade that's kind of getting a little bit more muted with the next shade. That's totally fine. We're going to go in and deepen that up again. Next, I'm going to go in with shade A2. I'm actually going to use the yellow shade mixed with our B1 just to kind of get a little bit more grainy, yellow, diffused look into the skin. So from there, what we're going to do is we're just going to tap on the A2, get a little bit of pigment there. And then we're going to tap onto B1. And like I said before, just the same, we're going to gently diffuse that line. Since I want it to be a little bit more diffused on the top, I'm actually going to go in with a Morphe M501 brush. This is a very fluffy brush. A lot of people would use this for highlight. I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna use it to kind of buff out that edge a little bit and really mold that last color into my skin tone. As you can see, it's really blended out there on the outer side. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go in with those same colors again. I recommend using the same brushes just because it will give the same effect that you had the first time that you were in. I think we could go a little bit deeper. Let's go one more layer. From there, what we're gonna do is we were going to do the same exact shades on my lower lash line. For this, I'm going to use a smaller brush. This is going to be the Morphe M508 buffer brush. I just think that this one is perfect because it is very tiny. It's really hard to kind of see. You can see it against my skin tone, but packs on pigment and it's really easy to buffer out. So we're gonna go in with those same shades again like we did before. First starting off with E3. Picks up pigment so well. And dabbing that onto the lower lash line. All right, we have our first shade on. I see a little bit of fallout down here. That's fine. You're gonna see that with really pigmented shadows. We've not done the rest of our face, so that'll be easy once we get the concealer on under the eye. Next shade, E1. Now with this brush, I like to go long ways with it, just so that way you can do that 50-50 again and really buff out the color. Now we'll go in with our A2 and B1 again. And now we will go ahead and move on to cutting the crease. Okay, so we're gonna get up close and personal for this part of the video. So now that we're here, we're going to cut the crease. And to do that, I have the little trick from Louise that I learned to be able to cut that crease, really get that fine line. We're going to use the petroleum jelly or Vaseline, which I never thought would be a thing that we could use on makeup, but it works really, really well. So to start off with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Morphe M224 brush, another flat bristled brush, and it's very thin on the end so that way you can really get that fine line. You're going to take your petroleum jelly. I just put a little dollop because a little goes a long way, and really work that product into the brush. You don't want it to be super cakey. You want just a thin layer on the brush because, like I said before, a little goes a very long way. So from there, what you're going to do is you're going to put a little bit on your lid and then open up a couple times, and then you'll start to see your line from where your crease should be. If you start to see a lot of product on your brush, the reason why I like using this white brush is because you can actually see the product come off on it. Just wipe that off on a towel, get a little bit more Vaseline, flatten it out a little bit, and continue on. All right, so there's our crease. Our next part, which is probably one of the most important parts, is to take the Vaseline off of your eyelid. So that way the product will stick back down to it once you put that base on. But I prefer to use a Q-tip for this, and you're just gonna run over the part that you had originally cut. Making sure to get all of that Vaseline off. And the cut looks pretty good. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go in with our P. Louise base. So for today's look, I'm actually going to use P. Louise base in Rumor 0. This is the white shade, just because I feel like it'll really make the green pop with the way that I've applied. So since I am seeing a little bit of creasing here, I am gonna go in with my shimmer shadow. I'm going to do shadow shade C1 from the palette. I'm using the Morphe M166 brush. This really just picks up those shimmers so that way you can add it in as you please. This is a nice like champagne color, which is really good for the lid to kind of just set that base. So next we're gonna move on to eyeliner. For the eyeliner, I use the Milani Stay Put Matte 17-Hour Wear Liquid if I wanna do more of like a graphic line, just because I feel like you get more liquid out of this than you would a felt tip pen. I do have a Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner that I will use to kind of detail a little bit once I get most of the pigment on. I just feel like this is better because it's got the liquid loose in the actual pot. So I'm gonna go in and do my liner and I will be right back. All right, so now that that is done, I'm going to go ahead and finish my other eye before I do my lashes, and we will see how these look. Let's see. Are they going to be sisters? Are they going to be twins? Are they going to be long-lost relatives? Let's see what the difference is. I'll be right back with both eyes done. All right, so the other eye is done. What I have done then next is gone in with my P. Louise Mmmmitchell Blank Canvas paint and cut next to my liner. So that way I have that clean line to give the point that I want. Pulled it down, as you can see there. And then I've taken my blender brush that I used before for my brow and buffered that into the skin. From there then, I've just gone in and buffed out the bottom of that green, a little bit into the lash line. For my lashes today, I am going to be using the Lisa lashes from Beauty by LadyCode in the Taurus style. I love these because they are thicker. They have a really nice density to them and they're feathery. So yeah, we'll go ahead and put those on. All right, so I'm going to go in with my NYX Glitter Goals liner in the shade Crystal Ball and just add that onto my upper lid. The way that I usually will add this is just by tapping it on where I think I'd like the product. So I'm feeling pretty happy with this eye. I am going to now start my base and we will get this full look going. All right, and there is the final look for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video or the tutorial, please like and subscribe. If you have any other specific videos that you would like to see, please sound off in the comments below. Very excited for what the future holds, and I hope that you all are staying safe during this coronavirus pandemic. I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a good one.